a visible peristalsis. Hernia site. What is hernia? That you very well know from the anatomy. So femoral hernia, inguinal hernia, umbilical hernia. This may be included in the abdomen. So you have to watch for hernial sites, inguinal sites and umbilical. We are not doing for inguinal and femoral hernia watching out inspection of palpation. increased. Other than this peristaltic sound, you can heard some abnormal sounds like bruit of the over the aorta in case of aneurysm, or in case of any abnormality of the vessels. You can find out the auscultate the other sounds also. Okay. The subject during examination and before examination, subject should be relaxed and calm. The examination area should be well lighted and do under the sunlight or natural light instead of artificial light. Stand on the right side of the subject. Ask the subject to lie down, and area which are you going to examine should be disclosed or without any clothes. So as we have examined the abdomen should be properly exposed, and in case of female patient, one female attendant should be present. So now this approximately we can divide this abdomen into 9 quadrants. Roughly mid clavicular line in this direction, one subcostal line, and highest point of iliac crest somewhere here. I am not exactly pinpointing it. So 9 quadrants of abdomen are there. Accordingly, organs are present under that, and if locally complaint related to that organ, that quadrant, or any localized swelling is there, that means that organ may be involved. So now we start with inspection. Inspection, you can see that it is approximately flat. Somewhere you can say bulged below the umbilicus. Umbilicus is central in position, means without any transversely stretch or vertically stretch. Movements, so movements are abdominothoracic as is male. Skin, I think skin all over the abdomen, skin is completely normal. No any scar mark, no any pigmentation, or no any prominent veins will be seen. And even I am not able to see any visible peristalsis. Hernial sites we are not doing, or inspection of genital area we are not doing. So you can write down not done in front of that in inspection. Again, in inspection, just contour of abdomen, it will be flat. Umbilicus central in position, and in appearance it is normal. Movements is abdominothoracic. Skin is completely normal. No any visible peristalsis is seen. And hernial sites and examination of genital area that we are not doing. So inspection is over. Palpation, that for, as I have said, for superficial palpation, just in case with your pads of your finger, make sure your hands are warm. That for this specifically for winter area. So give light palpation on all 9 quadrants like this. Simultaneously see for the facial expression. If you see that facial expression is changed, that means this area may be diseased. Don't give much pressure. This is only a superficial or light palpation. Just find out any tenderness is present or not. Why we are doing this? Because in case of peritonitis, during this superficial palpation, the expression of pain may be there, and guarding or rigidity of the abdomen will be there. One thing I forgot, that whenever we examine the abdomen, knee should be flexed. That is the first point, so that muscle will be relaxed. So superficial palpation is over. Now for deep palpation, I can cannot find out any lump in superficial palpation. So I am not doing deep palpation for lump. I am just show you how you have to palpate the various organs, liver, spleen and both the kidneys. Now you very well aware of the subcostal border, that is like this, somewhere here in this direction, right? Liver is present here, and if it is enlarged in downward direction. So keep your palm in the right iliac fossa and you have to see or palpate for the liver during the deep. Just ask the subject to take deep breath. When the subject is taking inspiration, at that time you just go for palpation of liver. Obviously you cannot find the liver in right iliac fossa unless and until it is enlarged. But this is the method. First keep your palm in the right iliac fossa. During inspiration, palpate for the organ or see for the organ, and during expiration just move your finger little bit upward, or you can say 1 to 2 centimeter upwards every time. Unless your lateral side of index finger will just felt the edge of the liver. Again, as liver is enlarged in this direction, so we'll start with the right iliac fossa. Keep palm or this finger in the right iliac fossa. Ask the subject to take deep breath. ऊंडा सांस ले. छोड़ो. During expiration, moves the finger upward as I will not feel the liver. अच्छा ऊंडो सांस ले. ऊंडो सांस ले. Fossa, you have to go upwards up to the costal border. Liver is just palpable under the costal border. Otherwise, you may or you may not palpate the edge of the liver. So this is the method. Start from the right iliac fossa and go upwards until your finger will felt the edge of liver. If liver is enlarged, you may find out the edge of the liver earlier somewhere here. So liver is enlarging in this direction. Now spleen is present here, somewhere here, and it is enlarged in the towards the right iliac fossa. So method will be same. Just start with the right iliac fossa. Ask the patient to take deep breath. During inspiration, feel for the organ, and during expiration, go upwards. So same for liver as same for spleen, but spleen enlarged in the anteriorly and forward. So we will go from right iliac fossa towards the left hypochondrium because spleen is present in the left hypochondrium. This is one of the method of liver and spleen palpation. Second method is dipping method. Dipping, that is this dipping method you have to do whenever ascites is there, because if abdomen peritoneum is full with the fluid, you cannot palpate liver by this method. So in case of dipping method, just below the costal border, keep your finger and press it down. By pressing, the fluid will be present, underlying that it will be displaced, liver also displaced, and at one point liver will give impact under your finger. This is dipping method. Same for liver, it is same for spleen. Give dip means give pressure with your finger. Whatever fluid or whatever organ is present under your finger will be displaced. So fluid displaced and underlying organ will give impact to your finger. This is second method. Third method of liver and spleen is hooking method. That you just sit or stand in this manner facing the patient's feet and hook like this method. Both finger will be hooked underlying the rib, and ask the subject to take deep breath. During deep inspiration, you will feel the edge of organ, liver as well as spleen. For spleen, you have to stand on that side, left side. For liver, we have to stand on right side. So I have this demonstrate the three methods. One, this is method just for lever. Start from the right iliac fossa, go upwards. You have to move upwards during expiration and feel for the organ during inspiration for both liver as well as spleen. Then dipping method whenever fluid is collected in the abdomen, and third method is hooking method. This hooking method is specially whenever liver is minimally enlarged, you can find out liver enlargement with the hooking method. So that's all about liver and spleen palpation. For kidney palpation, bimanual method will be there. For right kidney, you have to keep your left hand posteriorly at the side of renal angle. What is renal angle? That is the area between the 12th rib and sacrospinalis muscle. And right hand, right palm over here. Right palm should be kept compressed. And when patient take deep breath, just give push to your left arm and you may feel that kidney is slide down between your two palms. Normally it's not palpable, but just to demonstrate, I am keeping my left palm posteriorly over the renal angle and my right palm over here, somewhere on the left lumbar region. Now ask the subject to take deep breath, and whenever he is doing inspiration, give push to your left arm. So normally kidney, unless and until it is enlarged, it is not palpable. So for kidney, bimanual palpation method will be there. Understood? Liver, spleen and kidney. Or beside, if lump is there, you have to examine that lump. For surface of the lump, consistency of the lump, whether it is attached to any nearby organ or not. That's it. Now for percussion, that as we are doing percussion in the lung to find out how much amount of air is there. So in case of abdomen, over the liver, spleen and kidney, it will be hyperresonant or dull. But on the intestine, if it is filled with the more gas or more fluid, accordingly the note will be either hyperresonant or the tympanic. As you know, over the stomach, the tone is tympanic. Now just percuss all the quadrants, all the 9 quadrants, and find out which type of note you will find out. For ascites, as I have said, 3 tests you have to do: shifting dullness, fluid thrill and horseshoe dullness. Unless and until 1 liter fluid is collected, you cannot find out anyone. But if ascites is more than 1 liter fluid is accumulated in the peritoneum, then these 3 signs you can elucidate. These are the signs of percussion. For horseshoe dullness, as you know, shape of horseshoe is like this, like U shape. So just when ascites is developing, first flank region are the first one where fluid is collected. So you just go from center towards the flank region and with percussion. You know rule, fleximeter, flexor finger, and only one time you have to give impact on the middle phalanx. Like this. Whenever you find dull note, just mark that point. Like suppose from epigastrium to left hypochondriac, then umbilicus to right lumbar and hypogastrium to left lumbar. In this way, you will go from central to periphery and find out the area of dull note. And if you join that point, it will be horseshoe dullness, which is the earlier sign of ascites, because fluid first start to accumulate in the flank region. For fluid thrill is you can carry out whenever moderate to large amount of fluid is there and abdomen is tense, that so much fluid is present. So just keep the edge of subjects, this edge of the hand over on the centrally. તમારો હાથ છે ને આગળ કામ મૂકે છે આમ બોલવા હતા. in the central, just keep the hand with the right hand, keep your hand here on the left flank and left side, and with this index finger you just give a tap on the opposite side. With this hand you have to feel the thrill, with this hand you have to give impact. If by giving this impact, just wait for 2 to 3 seconds, you will feel the wave reaches to your this palm, because whatever I will give impact, it will passes through the fluid which is present in the ascites, it will reaches to the opposite side. So fluid thrill. Third one is shifting dullness. So for shifting dullness, you can start from the right side or left side. Just go from the center towards periphery while doing percussion like this. And whenever you find dull note, do not now keep your hand as it is, do not take off your hand. Now as I have find, suppose I have find dull note here of the fluid, I will keeping my hand here as it is. Now ask the subject to lie down in, suppose here I am finding a dull note on right side, so ask the subject to lie down on left lateral position. Keeping your hand here. Now wait for some time. Now if you percuss this thing, it will become hyperresonant or tympanic. Why? Because fluid is shifted over this side. Understood? This is shifting dullness. Dullness first present here. Now due to shifting, we shift the position of subject, dullness will be shifted. Now if you percuss here around umbilicus, it will become dull note, which was first resonant. So fluid which is present here, it will collect here, it will give dull note here. So this is known as shifting dullness. But unless and until 1 liter fluid is there, you won't find out any of these 3 signs. So what we have done in percussion of the over the areas of the abdomen to find out whether note is tympanic or hyperresonant, and if you find out the collection of fluid, you just do this 3, try to elicit these 3 signs. And one thing, if liver or spleen or kidney is enlarged, for liver we will find out the liver span or that measurement of liver, how much liver is enlarged. So what you will do, start from the right iliac fossa, start percussion. Okay, when you find out dull note, mark that point, it is the lower edge of liver or lower border of the liver. Now in the mid-clavicular line, from the third intercostal space, start percussion in downward direction in the mid-clavicular line. When you find out dull note of that liver, just mark that point and measure this distance. Normally it will be 10 plus or minus 2 cm in male and 8 or plus or minus 2 cm in female. If this centimeter or measurement is more, that means liver is enlarged. So this is liver span, we can say that. Hello everyone. So now last part is auscultation. Obviously we have to use the stethoscope. What you will hear in the abdomen. So abdominal sounds or peristaltic sound, that you will heard movement or peristalsis is movement of intestine, that will be heard according to the timing of meal. So just keep the chest piece, diaphragm chest piece over the all over 9 region and just heard for the sound. According to the timing of the meal, you may hear the peristaltic sound, and if intestinal obstruction is there, the intensity of sound will be more. That is, whenever you hear, you will learn how they are actually. So just do at your home. Here that you can hear by your own peristaltic sound also. Just all over, if you have stethoscope, just hear for the peristaltic sound. Now abdominal examination is over. Inspection, palpation, percussion and auscultation. So now what you write down in observation, if you can see observation. So now what you write down in observation. So now what you write down in observation, I have just write down in my journal. We're starting with the contour of the abdomen. So according to the contour, it will be flat or slightly bulged or scaffold. Skin, usually skin will be normal, but if you find out any scar mark, any stria, you just write down that. Otherwise, NAD, no abnormality detected. Movement, relation to respiration, that according to male and female, that you know. Prominent veins, if present, then present, otherwise absent. Transmitted pulsation, if you can see, then write down seen, otherwise not seen. Position of umbilicals, it will be central in normal person. Any peristalsis will not visibly normal. So any visible peristalsis not seen. Hernial sites we are not doing, so that's why not done. And any visible swelling, if you have seen, then seen, otherwise not seen. For tenderness, any tenderness, you just during superficial palpation, just palpate the part, every quadrant of abdomen superficially, and simultaneously see for facial expression. If expression is changed or pain is there, just write down present, otherwise absent. Local temperature will be normal. Tone of the abdominal muscle will be moderate. Respiratory movement presents. Pulsation, aortic and femoral. Aortic, you just see, palpate. If you can palpate, then it is palpable. Femoral, we are not doing. Otherwise, pulsation is not palpable. Confirmation of hernia, as we are not doing, so not done. Any fluid thrill, that is absent. If ascites is there, then and then it will be present. Liver, spleen and kidney. So normal spleen and normal kidney not palpable. Liver is just palpable. You can write down like this. Any lump not seen. For percussion, different quadrants, the tone, the note you will get either tympanic or hyperresonant according to the amount of gas. Liver dullness or liver span, that I have demonstrated. So I have write down this normal range. For male it is 10 plus or minus 2 centimeter. For female it is 8 plus or minus 2 centimeter. If you have done this during percussion, then you can write down your own value. Signs of fluid thrill, all three will be absent because this is present or if ascites is there. Auscultation, peristaltic sound. Usually you can hear peristaltic sound if you heard that after meal. So it is present or absent. Usually is not absent, but it is present. And any other abnormal sounds like bruits or murmur, it will be absent. So that's it about observation.